Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm really excited today to have with me Dr. Cynthia Knight, who is with Choice Charter School. And I'm really excited to talk to her about the way that she is addressing something that, as a mother of a middle schooler, I understand, the desire to engage students that are feeling maybe not as secure as some of their companions in school and their classmates. And so I think it's a really great opportunity for us to have a chat about, how Dr. Knight is using AI in the classroom, but then also, what types of strategies is she using to engage these kids that might be falling by the wayside. So with that, this program, by the way, is sponsored by the growthstack.ai, which implements AI solutions to companies seeking to improve operational efficiency. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Knight to do a brief intro, and then talk a little bit about what she's doing, what's working, and we just want to be very casual and just have a general conversation. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to share our story and share what we do. It's important that we all learn from each other, and I think these podcasts are going to be amazing for all of us to just learn from each other and how it's being used and all of that kind of thing. I started Choice Charter School. It's been a 13-year journey, but we started it. This is our fourth year. So we are now grades 7 through 12, and we have over 300 kids right now. So, and we're in the state of Iowa, which is small to begin
You're
with.
in Iowa. I was going to mention where you were because 300 kids in Iowa is a lot of kids.
Yeah.
So that's really impressive. I mean, it's taken you 4 years, which seems very short in the lifespan of schools. So, that seems very interesting to me how you've really captured this market because there's so much, I think there's a lot of anxiety in kids today, and that's something that I don't think was around when I was going through school at least.
Yeah. Not to the degree that it is now. There's just so much social media and social emotional health and the COVID didn't help things out any either. So we're just now trying to get back into some kind of normalcy of what school is and what we can do for kids. And my goal was to really help those kids that the traditional school, they were telling 5,000 kids were dropping out every year in Iowa, and they were telling us something. I'm not coming back to that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I tried to create something very different, and we are totally all online school. Every student gets a mentor. We try to support them the best we can. If they need mental health, we can find them mental health places. If they need food, shelter, clothing, we can help them with that too. And we are in the entire state of Iowa, not just one little region. So, yeah, so that's what we do. And with AI, we have embraced AI. And I know some schools are saying, absolutely not, you cannot have it anywhere. And that is in my opinion, a disservice to our young people because that is going to be their world.
Yeah.
It's not the world I grew up in. No, I mean, I didn't even have a computer till I went to college. Well, and I didn't even have a computer when I was in college. It was when I was teaching when I finally got a computer. So, we have to think about their future and not ours. So, what we've done with AI for the teacher side of things is they use AI to create lessons,
Yeah.
project-based lessons. And what it does for them is frees them up from having to find all the little pieces that should go together. And AI does a wonderful job of putting all the pieces together. They still have autonomy to look at each of those lessons and go, yeah, I like this. I don't like this. I think this is how it goes, and I can take this piece out. Or I have this wonderful piece that I've always liked and the kids have always liked. I can add it in. So it saves our teacher hours of curriculum development.
Yeah.
And we get the best because it pulls on the best, right? So the students will be using it. And what I think the power of AI for kids, they're going to see it as, oh, I get the answer to the question. I just have to pop it in, right? And I can make it sound like an eighth grade writer, or I can make it sound like a 12th grade writer, or, they can do all kinds of things with it. But what I think it will do is help them come up with better questions
Yeah. Yeah.
and help them dig deeper into what they're passionate about
Yeah.
and learn. I mean, my grandson's 12 years old, and I tell you, he tells me all kinds of things that he learns in, 15-second bites.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I mean, for example, my daughter was just showing me she's designing a car. And I said to her, oh, we can build this in AI. And she's like, really? And I was like, yeah, let's go build it in AI now that you've kind of designed it. But to your point, AI is going to be part of their DNA growing up. It's the way that the internet was or the computers were for us. And so I feel like I've met other heads of school who've said, like you mentioned, they're like, well, they're going to be with technology their whole lives. Let's not start them with technology. But I think it's very interesting, the different approaches. But I do think that if you teach them, AI is all about the prompts, right? So if you teach them the right way to ask the question, they'll get the right answer. And that's something that I think adults may not really understand yet. It's not just about getting the answer, it's about how you ask the question. So,
Right, right. And the big fear is plagiarism, that they're not gonna learn how to read and write, or write in particular. And my response to that is have them write in front of you.
yeah, yeah,
You can have them go do, and AI can teach them how to write.
yeah,
So, I write a sentence, now make it more flowery, now make it more formal, now make it more, and they'll see the difference in the writings, that we as teachers can't produce that many different kinds of writings to even show them.
yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's a fair point. I hadn't thought about it that way, but it is like sentence structure, like some of those things that we kind of learned in school. It's kind of one of the things that I did hear from a couple of heads of school, and I wanted to hear is like we want to make sure that kids retain their ability for critical thought. And how do you address that?
right. So that's what that finding the best question is. They have to think critically about what is it that they really truly want to know about.
Yeah,
And then just critically thinking about, is this a true statement or is it a false statement? And in our world, it's so blurred right now. And we really have to help our young people discern, this is the truth, this is not, especially with, the way they can take your image
yeah,
and then they can make it say anything they want it to say. It's important that our young people can discern that, can go, okay, that's AI. I'm not going to pay attention to it. Or this is the actual person saying those things. So this is the truth. That is a skill they're going to have to have.
yeah. It's fascinating stuff. I mean, I feel like one of the other things I was going to ask you is how are you using it, in terms of operationally, like for enrollment and things like that? Are you using it as a tool to improve your efficiency in the office or in the admin
Uh-huh.
side?
So for enrollment, we do have some AI pieces where it takes you through the things that you need to do and is intuitive that way. But really, I haven't ever I can see the possibility of it freeing up some of my people's time, but I haven't really addressed the efficiency in our operations and how we do our operations every day. Um, I do use it when I want to write a post or I want to write an email, or, so I
We
use
all
the
do.
very basic, you know, I am so basic. And that's probably my age, I'm 62, so it's like, okay, I have to learn this new thing. And how can it, and it's exploding so fast too.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, how can it be used? And you, Tina, showing me, what can I do with this? How can it work for me? And how can I do all of that? I'm having to learn too, just as
Yeah.
much as the kids.
It's really interesting because one of the things that we do at Growth Stack is we basically install AI agents, and it's fascinating. I mean, the reason we use off the shelf is because the technology is growing so fast. By the time we built something custom, it would be obsolete. There's no point. And it makes much more sense to install what's available because so much, it's moving so fast and we would adapt it over time. So it's really, to me, this whole field is so fascinating because, anyone who is not sort of recognizing that this is a shift in the way that we do everything. I think, and I think that the ones that are slow to adopt will really have competitive issues down the road because competitors are using AI.
Right,
You're going to get
right.
left behind.
You got to get it, and you got to get it fast, and you got to get, yes, I truly believe
And
that.
because the kids are using it every day. They don't even know it's called AI. They're just using it. You know what I mean? It's a tool for them. Like
Yep,
it's like, oh, it's like going to TikTok. They know exactly what they're doing, but they
right,
don't really know it's AI.
right. They
Um,
don't.
we just call it whatever we want to call it, but for them, it's going to be part of the way that they function.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the fact that you're training them on how to use it effectively is, I think, really important because, they're going to learn that down the road, but the sooner that you are able to, get them to understand and express themselves correctly, I think it's really critical. It's very, very admirable. Do you think it gives them, is it an engagement tool or is it something that is, you know what I mean? Is it something, is this something that is, um, you think driving their interest in school because it gives them freedom to sort of explore ideas, or is it just a way for you to teach what you want to teach in terms of the curriculum?
I think it's a way for my teachers to teach the way they want to teach through the curriculum. I think it frees them up um, to dive deeper. And I say that because kids can then use the AI to go answer the quick question that they didn't get answered in class or they didn't have time to get in class. They can go and get that through AI. I think my kids right now, where they are in their stage, is it's a way to get the work done. And I
Yeah,
just want to get the work done. And
yeah,
I think for my students anyway, that's their motivation. But I think as we teach them and we explore what it can do for them, I think it will be more of the engagement. Oh, yeah, I can. Oh, this is what I learned. Oh, if I ask this question, I think it'll be more exploration and engagement. But right now, it's what I think they see it as I can get my work done and be done.
and what about challenges? Like, where do you see some challenges in the way that you're using AI?
Yeah, the challenges that I see are mostly on the teacher's end of things as to the authenticity of the work, that it's the student's voice and not AI's voice. I think that is the biggest challenge, and I think that's the biggest fear in the educational world is that our students will lose their voice
Yeah.
because they'll just ask a question and they'll go, yeah, I like it, okay,
Yeah, yeah. No, I've heard that. You're right. I've heard that from other educators. They're like, how are they going to lose their ability to express themselves?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I don't think I think maybe, they might learn how to express themselves differently. Um,
yes,
you
that's
know.
probably true.
Yeah.
Well, and I think they will, especially if you say, I'm in a conversation and it's a formal conversation. How should I speak? How should I say these things?
Yeah.
And so maybe it will train them for the different situations too that they're in.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
in a formal situation, I'm in a relaxed situation, I'm in a fun situation, I'm with my friends, that kind of thing. And maybe it could help them with that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's an interesting take, like, because teenagers, as we know, have a lot of social pressures and they don't really know how to act in certain circumstances. So that's an interesting take because they don't want to go to the parents, right? They don't want to, and so I mean, I'm generalizing, but I would think that they go to their peers because who else are they going to go to?
Hmm.
It's not always the best advice.
Right. Right.
I'm not sure I want my 12-year-old hearing about responses from other 12-year-olds. I'm like, that's like a dangerous situation right there.
Yeah.
And, generally she'll come to me. I think that that's probably coming, to a close
Mhm.
soon. I'm
Yeah.
trying to hang on to
Yep.
it for as long as I can.
That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm not gonna lose that, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's part of evolution. We have to let
They
them.
want right. And we want them to be independent, right?
Yeah,
So
we want them to grow up. It's
part our
okay.
fault too. Yeah.
Exactly. Is there anything else that you think I didn't cover? Because I feel like we covered, the way that you're using it in the classroom, which I think is incredible. We talked about some of the challenges. I feel like the approach that you're taking it's so innovative because as we talked about, the kids are in this world where it's going to be part of their DNA and they have to learn to navigate it. And it's just a question of like when. And so if you can train them between 7th and 12th grade, then I think that's kind of the perfect age for them to learn. And I think it's really interesting. Thank you so much for taking the time today. If you could stay on after I stop recording, that would be awesome. But thank you very much. And this will be up on Tina's Take on AI, both on Spotify and YouTube later on, probably early next week. Thank you very much. And thank you, Dr. Knight, for joining us
Thank you so
today.
much.
That was great.